All right, so we're diving deep today into anxiety treatments.
Mm,
Looks like you've given us a ton of great material to work with. So, yeah, we're going to unpack all of that. We're
yeah.
going to explore how to manage anxiety
Yeah,
and hopefully find some peace of mind along the way, right?
exactly. I mean, anxiety can be a real challenge, but there are so many tools and techniques out there. We'll explore all of them.
Absolutely. Let's kick things off with something I'm sure a lot of people have heard of, behavioral therapy.
Okay.
And, it's not about digging up your childhood or anything like that.
Right.
It's more about understanding those patterns, the thoughts and behaviors that can kind of keep us stuck.
Absolutely. It's all about recognizing those connections, between your thoughts, your actions, how you feel. It's all linked.
Yeah.
So, for example, imagine someone who's terrified of public speaking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So a behavioral therapist might use something called systematic desensitization. It's basically like gradual exposure. You start small, maybe just talking with a friend.
Right.
Then you work your way up, to bigger groups and stuff. So the idea is to basically retrain your response to that trigger step by step.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So then what about cognitive therapy? I feel like I hear that a lot too.
Yeah, cognitive therapy, that focuses on those negative thought patterns that, they really fuel anxiety.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you become a thought detective.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you have a big presentation coming up, and that thought, I'm going to fail, keeps popping up.
Ugh, yeah.
Right. So cognitive therapy helps you really examine that thought. Is it really true? What evidence do you have?
Yeah.
What's the actual likelihood of things going wrong? So it's about challenging and reframing those negative thoughts.
Wow. Yeah, I can see how that would be super helpful.
Yeah,
It's almost like you're taking back control from those thoughts that just kind of spiral.
exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about those therapies.
Yeah.
What about medication? Where does that fit in?
Medication can definitely be part of the picture, but it's important to think of it as maybe a short-term tool, ideally used alongside therapy.
Okay.
It's kind of like a life raft, something to help you stay afloat while you learn to swim.
I like that.
Some medications can help manage those physical symptoms of anxiety, but they don't always get to the root cause.
So not a magic bullet,
Hmm.
but more like a bridge to get you to a place where you can use those other tools.
Exactly. Now, this might surprise you, but, the stuff you gave us, it actually highlights the strong connection between exercise and anxiety relief.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely heard that exercise is good for mental health.
Yeah.
But I'm always curious, why? What's the actual connection?
Well, so when you exercise, your brain releases these things called endorphins,
Okay.
which, have mood boosting and pain relieving effects. It's like your body's natural happy hour, I guess.
Uh-huh. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I eat some of those.
But it's not just the endorphins, Exercise, it helps you sleep better, reduces muscle tension, and boosts your self-confidence, all of which can help with anxiety.
Wow. So it's like multifaceted. It's not just blowing off steam. It's actually changing your brain chemistry.
Right.
I like that. Okay, so we've got therapy, medication, exercise. What about things like meditation and relaxation techniques?
Those can be super helpful. They help you really tune into your body so you can be aware of those early warning signs,
Yeah.
And they help you create a sense of calm. Even simple things like deep breathing or progressive muscle relaxation can make a huge difference.
It's like giving your mind a timeout
Yeah,
before things get out of hand.
exactly.
So out of curiosity, what about hypnosis? Is it like what we see in movies?
Well, no, not at all. Modern hypnosis is actually a guided relaxation technique. So a trained hypnotherapist will help you enter the state of deep relaxation. And in that state, your subconscious is more open to suggestions. But it's not about mind control. It's about using that relaxed state to kind of plant positive coping mechanisms
Interesting.
and to change your relationship with anxiety.
So it's more about empowering you to manage it, not some magical trick.
Exactly.
What about biofeedback? That always sounded kind of futuristic to me.
Right. It sounds a bit high tech, but it's actually very practical. Biofeedback teaches you to recognize how your body physically responds to stress, like increased heart rate, muscle tension, even changes in skin temperature.
Wow.
So by becoming aware of those signals, you can actually intervene early.
Really?
Yeah, and prevent anxiety from taking over.
So it's like you become your own anxiety detective, figuring out your body signals. Then you can manage them. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, we should touch on psychotherapy or talk therapy.
Yeah, psychotherapy, it's all about providing this safe space to explore the roots of your anxiety. You can understand the underlying causes. And you develop like personalized coping strategies. It's a real collaboration with the therapist, you know?
Right.
You can untangle all those thoughts and emotions that contribute to anxiety.
And so it helps you connect the dots between your past, your current triggers, and the thinking patterns that are keeping you stuck.
Exactly.
We've covered so much today, from behavioral therapy and medication to meditation and biofeedback.
Hmm.
I mean, what stood out to you as, particularly interesting or relevant from all the material you looked at?
For me, the most interesting thing is that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. It's about finding what works for you.
Yeah.
And remembering that managing anxiety, it's a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely. The research also mentioned this rest and free community. It focuses on stress management.
Oh, interesting.
And given that link between stress and anxiety, do you think being part of a supportive community could be helpful?
That's a great point. Community and shared experiences are so powerful. Knowing you're not alone, having that safe space to share your struggles, that can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. So to sum it all up, there's so many paths to finding relief from anxiety. It's about exploring those options, finding what works for you, and building that personalized toolkit. And remember, you're not alone in this. There's hope for a calmer, happier life.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
See you then.
Bye.